Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. From whatever the part of the world that you hail, welcome. I'm Dr. Maisha Claiborne, and I first want to just acknowledge you for taking this first step because most moms in medicine don't get this far. But you're obviously here because you see something. You're interested to learn how our moms in medicine are taking back their time for themselves and their families while creating their ideal career. Now, look, I know you're busy and you're probably on the go. Let's face it, we're juggling family, work, motherhood. It's a challenge as a mom in medicine to balance life and career. So I know you're busy and I know you're on the go. But if you just take the next few moments to listen, I think you'll find what I'm about to share with you worth your time. Now, in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through how one of our moms in medicine successfully reclaimed her time and went from burnout to fulfillment while creating her ideal career using our 3-step process. So if you're listening to this, you're probably exhausted and overwhelmed. You're not getting enough time for yourself, and you're not getting enough quality time with your family. And that's really a problem. And date night? Psh, what was that again? Balance for you may seem like this impossible fantasy. And certainly the ideal job is unattainable, right? So really all you can do is strive to survive. But come on, what kind of life is that when what you really want is a career that will allow you to be a great mom, be an awesome provider, and have a fulfilling life? You're here because you want more. You want a career that will allow you to be great so you can live your life on your terms. So I'm going to share with you this case story of how one of our moms in medicine did just that. Then I'm going to show you where this falls in the bigger picture of things. But first, in case you don't know who I am, let me quickly introduce myself. I'm Dr. Maisha Claiborne. As I said earlier, I'm the Stress-Free Mom MD, and I help moms in medicine just like you reclaim their time and create a career they love so they can do the things they love with the people they love, renew passion for their career, and live life on your terms. Look, I know what it's like to be a mom in medicine. I'm a family physician in practice for 14 years, and I've worked in all manner of practices, from corporate medicine, large groups, small groups, urgent care, locums, and most recently, the solo practice I've been running for the past 10 years. But more importantly, I'm a mom, and I've experienced burnout twice in my career. So I not only know what it feels like to be on that hamster wheel and circling the drain, I know the vision, the mindset, and the skill set it takes to get off and create a life by design rather than by default. Now that's enough about me. Let's go ahead and quickly walk through this 3-step framework and how one of our Dr. Mommies used it to take back her life. So this is Dr. Meredith today. But 6 months ago, this was Dr. Meredith. When she came to me, she felt like she was completely burned out in her career. She was a partner in a busy private practice, doing well financially, but she felt like something was missing. She wasn't being fulfilled in her career anymore. Her days, though somewhat flexible, were many times very, very busy. And she stated that she was feeling disconnected from who she was as a doctor, more so feeling like she was kind of a cog in the wheel, going through the motions day to day, doing a lot of busy work, but not making the difference she really wanted to. She really wanted more. And on a personal side, she was getting a lot of practice in putting herself last. Since she was the primary income earner of the household, as many women physicians I see are these days, she had a lot of pressure on herself to make the household work. She was really trying to be everything for everybody. While her spouse was somewhat supportive, she still felt that she had the bulk of the responsibility. And not only did this put a strain on her relationship with her husband, it also began to put a strain on her interaction with the kids. So when Dr. Meredith reached out to me, she was truly on the hamster wheel and running out of steam. So what we did was we took her through this 3-step pathway in order to take her from burnout to fulfillment in that short time frame. Now, the first thing that we did in taking her through the framework was to sort out her vision. And for that, we had to start with a deep dive. That is, to really look at what was not working and why. When we questioned further the source of her dissatisfaction, she admitted that mostly she had not made time for herself out of guilt for her obligations to fulfill all of her roles. And when we talked further and began uncovering her dreams, what we discovered is that while initially she thought she wanted to leave and start her own practice, it turned out that she didn't necessarily need to do that if she could find what she wanted in an employed position. In fact, she recalled a time when she was happy and the exact organization she worked for during that time. So having this clarity was a huge breakthrough for her, and it gave her new hope and motivation that what she wanted was possible. Now, even though she had that new hope and that motivation, we still needed to take some foundational steps for her self-care before we could take any steps toward creating her career. Creating these initial foundational steps for her self-care and her relationships in her family, which were part of her core values, that's what gave her her first wins. The second step was to address her mindset. We had to deal with all the fear, doubt, hurt, and guilt she was feeling that was in the way of her just taking care of herself and asking for what she needed from the family. We also had to get rid of limiting beliefs that she would not find a job like the ideal one she had back when she loved what she did. So we had to undo some of the conditioning, that is, undo some of the limiting beliefs that she had, and start implementing new behaviors for self-care. So I had her nurture her relationship with her husband and her kids, scheduling specific times for fun, play, and connection time with her husband. As she integrated her new mindset with these behaviors, she began to transform her life around her. Transforming these outcomes gave her more space around what was next to do in her career and gave her even more clarity about what she wanted and the timeline she wanted to implement in transitioning into her ideal career. So the last step we needed to do was to make sure she had the proper skill set for long-term sustainability. We knew throughout this process, as Dr. Meredith was looking for a new position, that she was going to carry any habits that she had into her next job. So the first thing we needed to do was establish workability. We needed to ensure that she had her foundational self-care strategies in place at home to give her the space to continue to brainstorm and look at the opportunities that were her ideal and nothing less. During this phase of creating workability, we also had to look at a structured process for finding that ideal job. And so I took her through a step-by-step structure that gave her workability in the job search so that she didn't have to experience that typical job search nightmare that many docs experience when looking for a new position. Next, we needed to train her in how to appropriately communicate, not only with her family, but with the recruiters and with the potential employers about what she wanted. This was our ninja communication strategy. This gave her the access and the confidence that she needed to appropriately communicate her wants and needs and desires to her potential employers. It also gave her what she needed to skillfully communicate her boundaries at home with her family so that she was able to be consistent with her self-care and have her family be enrolled in participating as well. Finally, we trained her on creating a sustainable system for these newfound behaviors to keep her ongoingly accountable as she transitioned into a new position. So where she started this process in complete overwhelm, the systems we implemented moved her to a newfound sense of freedom, both in her career and her personal life. So let's talk about results. Within 6 months of working together, Dr. Meredith not only found her ideal job, but interviewed and was immediately offered the position. This job offered her everything she wanted in flexibility, in income, in practice culture, both for her patients and for providers. In fact, it was actually with that same organization that she had previously worked for, but a different facility. This was a result that she didn't think was possible when we started working together. But that's not all. She also saw results in her personal life. Her communication with her husband significantly improved, as did her interaction with her two boys. She told me that when she came to me, she was really only expecting us to work on career. And what she didn't expect was a significant impact that our work together would have on her relationship with herself and with her family. So by now, you may be wondering, how can I get the type of results that Dr. Meredith got? Well, whether you're wanting to change jobs or change careers, these types of results are possible for you. I've prepared an online training called The 3 Steps to Reclaim Your Time and Create Your Ideal Career Without Neglecting Your Family or Sacrificing Your Income. And I've created this training specifically for you to give you a more in-depth walkthrough of this framework and how it applies directly to your life right now. This training is completely free, and it'll detail each of the 3 specific steps you need to take to create your ideal career in 6 months while reclaiming time for yourself, time for your family, and time for the things that you love to do. In this training, you'll take away strategies that you can begin to implement immediately to move from frustration to possibility, from unsettled to unstoppable, and from overwhelm to freedom. What you'll learn: why most medical professionals fail to successfully transition in their jobs and careers, why some medical professionals end up jumping out of the flame and into the fire when changing jobs. You'll learn what moms in medicine fail to do before starting a new job search or business ventures. And you'll learn what our moms in medicine have done to reclaim hours back into your day for the things you love with the ones you love in 90 days. By the end of the training, you'll know the 3 steps it takes to create a career of your design and start living life on your terms right now. So I invite you to go ahead and register into this training today to get this in-depth walkthrough and the tools that you can take away immediately to begin shifting outcomes in your life. Now, some of you know that you're ready to move forward. So for you, I've created a free discovery call to get a feel for what's not working and what you want, so I can share with you the initial steps it's going to take to get you from where you are to where you want to be. This call is for those who are ready and 100% committed to take the next steps to invest in yourselves and create your ideal career and life now. If you aren't sure you want to shift your circumstances for the better, or if you're comfortable complaining but not ready to do the actual work it takes to transform your life, or if you're someone who allows fear, doubt, and cynicism to determine your actions, this call may not be for you. But listen, you are here, obviously, because you're truly committed to something. You're committed to making a change in your life and your career so that you can have the time freedom for yourself and your family. So if you want to get ultra clear about the specific strategies you need to get started living a life of your design right now, and you're ready to take that next step, go ahead and click to schedule your free discovery call now. And if you feel like you need that in-depth walkthrough, you can click the button to register for the free online training. Either way, jump on in. The time is now. You've come this far, and that means you're ready for the next step. So I'll see you on the other side in the training or on a call. And until then, keep breathing and have a great rest of your day. Namaste.